So it is June 30th, 2022 at 11 a.m. and today I had just finished sauteing eggplant and zucchini, where the eggplant was daikon sliced into thirds after slicing it flatwise in its cylindrical form. I did daikons into thirds of those rounds. Flat slices of eggplant and a third of a level teaspoon worth of virgin coconut oil, roughly a teaspoon of dried basil, crushed basil, dried. Hold on. No, it was about a teaspoon worth of the dried basil, a third level teaspoon of dried oregano. Yes, that's right. A third of a level teaspoon of dried oregano crushed. And about a third level teaspoon of virgin coconut oil. After I had made a bag of short grain brown rice that was one of those ready in minute type of rice, and 2 bottles of filtered spring water, about 1 teaspoon of virgin coconut oil, a third of a teaspoon of raw turmeric, 2/3 to 3/4 of a roughly packed dried cumin. Yes. Yeah, cumin. I didn't include any ginger in with the mixture of the short grain brown rice that I'm explaining here. In addition to a can of chickpeas, I'd also included about 1/3 level teaspoon of ground coriander seed and a third level teaspoon of nutmeg. I made 3 servings of that chickpea and short grain brown rice recipe I just explained the seasonings to first. Okay, with the a third of a teaspoon of raw turmeric. It's stronger than usual, so I used only a third level teaspoon instead, where normally I would use about roughly 2 teaspoons. I had also included roughly 3/4 to 1 level teaspoon worth of traditional soy sauce. Is wheat-based ingredients. It's not gluten-free. Roughly 2 teaspoons of organic balsamic, and when I had finished making the short grain brown rice and chickpeas stirred together like that, I had placed 1/3 of the portion on one of each of these plates, spread out somewhat well. I had manually crushed in between my index and thumb some dried saffron. My hands were well washed ahead of time, and had divided it up by a third of a 16th of a teaspoon worth of, if it were packed, it'd be around roughly a 16th of a teaspoon worth of dried saffron, and then I had crushed it and then divided that up into thirds. It expands, and then I pushed it into the rice. This was a last minute, thing. I had forgotten to mention I did season the rice with coarsely ground black pepper beforehand as one of those other spices. So I did about 27 to 30 rotations where this is heading towards the bottom of the container. Close to a third level teaspoon worth, as usual, for the batch of the short grain brown rice with the chickpeas and the other spices. Now, after I had removed the short grain brown rice, chickpeas, and spices, I did not wash the saucepan any time in between. What I had done was I just included about a third of actually, you know what, I'll measure it in cups. About 4 liquid measuring cups or 4 8 fluid ounce in volume amount of French cut green beans that were frozen. If you multiply that by 3 of, let's say, 3 8 fluid ounce in volume amount of French